Here.
Van Zandt,
Here.
Hopper, Webb,
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Moving on to the consent agenda.
That's items 1 through 10, correct?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion that we group items 1 through 10 together and approve them.
I'd second that.
If we could call for a vote, please.
Heisfeld,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any remarks or inquiries? We do. And I think, Kelly, is this your first meeting?
Yes. This is my first meeting.
Okay, do you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Kelly Martinez. I am, I guess, the proposed new CEO or hospital administrator at the Mangum Regional Medical Center. Been here prior for 9 years as CNO at the facility. So I'm back to run the facility and hopefully get the community involved. And doing a great job for Mangum City Hospital and for Cohesion Health. Thank you.
Great. Super excited to have Kelly. Me and Cheryl were invited to to sit in on the interview process, and we're just so excited that we were able to have you back to Mangum. So, welcome.
Glad to be here. And I'm originally from,
All right, where do you live?
I live in Alpha currently. But like I said, I'm originally from here. My farm's out at Hester.
Yeah.
You know what Hester is? That's where my farm's at. My parents are from Mangum. My grandparents have lived their whole life here. So, I've been around. Well, I would graduate high school, but I had more of an option to go to Alpha and go to more college classes at that time, so I went there, graduated there my senior year.
It's good to put a face with the voice.
I know, right? I did you back a couple of times.
Yeah, we have.
Absolutely. Yep, me and Ronnie had a couple of interactions on the phone, so.
Great. Moving on to item number 11, May financials.
All right, good evening. Ronnie, per your request, short and sweet. Just kidding. All right, so I'm going to jump right in. The consistency is the name of the game this month. Our average daily census in May was just slightly over 13, and which has been consistent with the whole year. Medicare utilization rate remains, again, consistent, about 88%, which brings our year-to-date ADC to a little bit over 14. Cash receipts for the month was 1.4 million, disbursements at 2.2 million, and if you're questioning why that number is so much higher than the cash receipts, that is solely to do with the $832,000 payment back to Novitas that was related, as a reminder, was related to the 2022 overpayment. So instead of taking out an ERS loan, that money was pulled from the cash reserve, and we paid that back. So that's the driving factor of that higher number. Our operating cash at month end was $556,000, which is also the equivalent of just under 11 days cash on hand. Our net patient revenue came out to almost 1.3 million, also again consistent with our monthly trend. Our operating expenses came out to almost 1.6 million, which is a little bit above our average. We average about 1.45. A lot of that driver had to do with some higher labor and purchase services for that month. Which resulted in a May net loss of $338,000. The clinic financials have also been provided. Just a quick highlight over those. We average about 7 patients per day. Year-to-date revenues came out to $157,000. Expenses estimated at $387,000, bringing a year-to-date loss of $230,000 for the clinic. And as promised, short and sweet. Do you have any
a quick
questions?
question.
Yes.
The agreement that we agreed to a couple of months ago, trying to find my words here, basically the loan or the repayment agreement to you guys, I didn't see the amount.
Are you talking about the management note
Yeah.
payable? It's $31,000 roughly
Yeah.
a month.
What is it under in
It's,
and maybe I missed it.
are you talking about on the balance sheet?
Yeah.
Or it's underneath the cohesive note payable?
Okay.
There should be
Yeah.
approximately about $5 million in there, and you'll see it reduced by about $31,000 every month.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I like your graphics and all nowadays on some of those reports.
I don't know if I can
The
take
increase and
credit for that
decrease.
one.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I-
the details within
Yeah.
some of the reports, because in the past, we've kind of talked about that we wanted more details or more the trends or the previous or this. And so thank you, and especially like on the clinic side, or what have you, to have it all just in one rather than in 5 different reports. Only thing I saw was to maybe carry over the one portion that we saw 6.X patients per day. On the clinic side, it's in different reports, but yes, thank you. Because we do look at those and try and, figure out the math and go from there, so, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for hearing and putting it into.
It's our pleasure. It's why we're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 12, discussion and possible action to approve CPSI and Oklahoma State Department of Health interface performance.
So the main part of that contract is, so CPSI interfaces with our Oklahoma State Department of Health reporting. It is a one-touch process. It decreases some labor time of the manual input to that. It is literally a hit a button now, and it uploads to the state. And as you could tell on this was no cost to the facility. So.
Because the thing passed in the House. and the Senate.
Yes,
And the back.
yes.
I'd
Because
make,
they were the ones mandating it to all the facilities.
I'd make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. Sorry.
Call for a vote, please.
High school,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 13, discussion possible action to approve the camera system quotes.
So what this camera system quote is for is to increase our security system outside the facility. Cameras are going to be placed at all entrance and exits to increase staffing and patient security. So they feel a lot more secure going to and from the lab at night and coming into the facility, and we'll be able to monitor that. So that's what this agreement is for. It's for a license for 9 cameras with a recording device for the SD card.
Pretty straightforward.
It's very straightforward.
I'll make the motion.
Is it a, just real quick question, is it a one-time fee or is it a monthly fee?
It is a one-time.
Wow. I'd like to second that motion. And if we could call for a vote at this time?
high school,
Yes.
Van Zandt,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 13, discussion on possible action to approve Dell and Port 53 quotes.
Is Chad on?
Hey Chad, are you there?
Yes, I'm on. Hello, everyone. So this is, currently we are using, you're on a legacy pricing with your current vendor, and I'm looking up the computer's name. Sorry for not having that there with me. And I'm not even finding it on my sheet. using F1 management for your current licensing for Microsoft, which handles all the emails, Teams, all those kind of information you exchange and stuff. So we have negotiated better pricing through Dell, which you guys already have a agreement with as far as purchasing your computers with. So it's a massive savings. And then we have port 53 for the email security. So what that does is, so any kind of phishing emails, or even to help encrypt your emails that's going out, everything that's HIPAA related or financial related will automatically be encrypted. So a user does not have to remember to encrypt it, but they will have that option to encrypt it. So with this feature here, we can turn on where anything that has that kind of information will automatically be encrypted, which by making this switch over here with these, that gives you a monthly savings of about $1692.50 a month for over a $20,000 a year cost savings. Any questions?
So the software subscription that we're looking at is the $5,022 plus the $1,096.
So $1,096 would be your monthly fee, and stuff for your email.
Okay.
So what that is, the end users will not see or notice anything. This is basically just a wholesaler change. So on the back end, as far as, even for us as managing it, there will be no difference. All it is just who is selling the product to us.
And then the $5,022 is a one-time cost.
Yes, that's a one-time upfront cost, which covers for 3 years.
I'd make the motion to approve the Dell and the Port 53 quotes.
I will second
If we could call for a vote.
High school?
Yes.
Van Zandt?
Yes.
Hopper?
it. Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 15, discussion and possible action to approve Millipore service agreement renewal.
So the Millipore is for our purified water for our machines in lab. What this does is, this is just a service contract with the company to provide 24 or unlimited troubleshooting repair visits. If it breaks, they come out and fix it for this one-time cost. It's a yearly agreement. It takes care of all necessary spare parts, any preventative maintenance, and if you look, I want to say the preventative maintenance is scheduled is already in there, and that's covers the entire price. So anything else would be free of charge for the facility. They would come out and manage that. Comprehensive checkup if anything's going wrong. Again, this is just for purified water, which all machines in the lab run off of that, chemistry and hematology.
Does it have a provision for after hours? Because I see where it says
Says-
limited troubleshooting and repair visits during normal business hours. Am I
8
just
to
missing
5.
After hours? Because things don't break Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
I think they come out and they don't repair until 8 to 5.
So is there
So-
an additional charge after hours if something has to be repaired, or they just won't do it until regular business hours?
What we've been doing is we kind of stick to the normal business hours, and we
Yeah.
have backups that we use
Yeah.
most times. I mean, so we're,
Purified water,
we do
keep
have
it on.
option Bs and Cs that we can use for those weird weekend times.
Yep.
And it looks like it's just barely a cost increase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $57.40. I'd make that motion.
Almost second that motion.
Call for a vote.
High school?
Yes.
Van Zandt?
Abstain.
Hopper?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 16, discussion possible action to approve Quaddle amendment to triage placement
Quiddle.
agreement.
Yep,
Quiddle?
Quiddle and Henry Schein, absolutely. This is just an agreement for us to use their disposables. It does come with, we get to use their equipment for free, but we have to go through their disposables. And so this is an amendment to the triage placement agreement. As you can see, the cost currently and the prior cost, there's a slight increase in that also, 57, right around $57 for the year. And this agreement will expire on 2025.
And again, it's just a renewal.
It's a renewal, it's an amendment,
Allow
yep.
us into using
Mhm.
their products.
Into using their products, yep. And this is, again, if our chemistry machine breaks that runs our cardiac panels, this is our backup. This is our backup for that. It also does BNP panels, D-dimers, cardiacs, so it can do multiple things for the facility if the chemistry analyzer goes down.
So I must be missing, no, I'm not, sorry. I'd make that motion.
I will second that motion. If we could call for a vote, please.
Haskell,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay. Movement to item number 17, discussion and possible action to approve Cardinal Amendment Letter 3040B Pharmacy Service Agreement.
This agreement is just between us, Cardinal, and Granite Drug to be able to participate in the 340B program, which will decrease cost to the facility and to our patients, inpatient and outpatient. It helps us provide a higher cost drug at a lower cost, and also be able to supply that outpatient.
Didn't we do a bunch of these recently?
Yes.
So at the time, if memory serves me right, we got Puckett's when we did the original one. Then we asked for Mangum Drug to be added. Mangum Drug wasn't responding, so it drew on, and then basically they immediately closed after we forced the issue. And then now what we're doing is basically they're just adding Granite,
Yep.
but it's the same, no cost.
Exactly. There's no,
It's the
it's just an
same
agreement. It's just an agreement.
It's just spreading the wealth around
Yep.
Greer County. It's what I got.
Mm-hmm, that is correct.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve
I'll second.
the amendment. 1, 2, 3, not it?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. Call for a vote, please.
Haskell,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item number 18, discussion and possible action to approve the First Amendment to the Management Service Agreement.
Yes, good evening. This item was tabled from last month's meeting. Cohesive conducted a routine review of its management services agreement with the hospital, and during that review, Cohesive identified 2 current processes that they would like to add into their agreement. The first item is to state that the fixed management fee shall be allocated according to cost report requirements. And then the second item is to state that the management services fee is $225,000 per month, and that is according to the March 2020 meeting minutes. And this is just from a formality and internal process standpoint. Please let me know if you have any questions.
So I think the reason we tabled this was because, Mr. Kendall, you were not here to read this and give us, hey, this is okay.
Hey, this is okay.
There you go. I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
I'll
I have
second.
a question. So these changes or add-ons to or what have you, is this just once a year where we can make those changes? What if we want changes made? Is this within the particular time frame for these changes to be made, or how did this come about for the review?
Yes.
For further or for future?
Yep, this is due to our routine annual review. So changes can be proposed.
Okay,
Mhm.
regarding our contract, is it every year at this time, or how does it stay within the contract to make these changes?
I
You
think
just bring it
it's,
out?
yeah, any time by agreement of the parties, yeah.
Okay.
So the last time we amended it was March 1st, 2020. So. Is there something that we would like to propose?
Well, I guess I would just like to know, when you reviewed it, and of course it's all the legalese, but when you're stating that, quote, allocating the management fee to be tabled as per the cost report, can you translate that for me? The way I'm reading it is, and I quote, fee.
Yes, so right now, for the fixed management fee to go in a certain departments such as administration, clinic services, clinical care, and geriatric site. In the event the strong mind program. It's
Okay, so as I understand it, and again, tell me how that works. So what we're agreeing to is that we, the board, are saying, yes, we are, paying $225,000 a month for your management fees, and we're now adding a clause that we're okay with, however, that $225,000 payment per month is being allocated, however it's needing to be into the different pots and the different spaces within the cost report, however it's needing to be done to be more cost efficient, rather than just one number of 225,000 in one pot. We're saying that it's okay, however it's needing to be done because of the nature of the financials within the hospitals and the cost report, that we're okay, that you could say of that 25 went to that geriatric program, 50 of that month went towards here, et cetera. We're agreeing that it can be split up, however it's needing to be for the reporting purposes of the cost report on behalf of Mangum Hospital to take what we pay to then be distributed out for cost savings or.
It's just the cost report requirement that we allocate our management fee towards those departments.
Okay.
So that's a current process that we're doing right now, and we're just adding that in.
So what made
Calvin,
it that it
this
needs
is
to
Calvin, this is Dennis. Can you hear me okay?
I can, yeah. Hi, Dennis.
I hope this will be helpful.
Okay.
Basically, we provide clinical, financial, and other areas of support, and our management fee is basically broken out by, in that allocation. And that's how we arrive at those percentages. A majority, a very high majority of our support is provided in the clinical area, which is one reason why a very high majority of our management fee is reimbursed in the cost report. And this is just basically kind of summarizing that fact. I don't know if that's language that should have always been in there or not, but it's just a methodology that's used on the cost reporting purposes.
All right. I just wondered why it was added on and so forth, but it made sense as to, or why you need specifically.
Yeah, that's a good question.
information.
Good question. Thank you.
So does on the signature sheet, it's saying we entered into this agreement on May. Do we need to backdate that, or does it need to be changed to June 27th?
Yes, we do need to
Change that.
Yep, to current. Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
And thank you for asking. It's very pleasant, so I appreciate it.
So Corey, the motion would just need to be effective as of today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to make a motion that we agree to the First Amendment to the Management Services Agreement dated June 27th, 2023.
And I would second that.
If we could call for a vote, please?
Haskell,
Yes.
Van Zant,
Yes.
Hopper,
Yes.
Webb,
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 18, discuss and possible action to approve the appointment of Kelly Martinez as the new hospital administrator for Mangum Regional Medical Center.
Just for my own curiosity, is that not really just an HR issue? Is that?
it's a technology, isn't it?
Under the conditions of participation, the governing board technically has to.
Okay.
Whether or not, yeah.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that's.
Under CMS regulations, it says the governing body will appoint.
What about
the
with
CEO.
what the former CEO presented us that, and we were all like, no, we don't have that ability.
Which is like, I mean, to me, it all seems like an HR issue, not a board issue, but that's just my.
Since
Is that the
he's
way
not-
it's just written in our governing body?
No,
Or it's
that's
just
the
the state?
CMS regulations.
Okay.
In the CMS, the conditions of participation to receive Medicaid funds, to follow these rules, it says the governing body will appoint the CEO.
Oh.
We don't necessarily appoint them, they're brought to us. Generally, this is the first time that two board members actually participated in some sort of a portion of this part, but over the last 5 to 7 years, we have not had any part of it. It's always been brought to the board, hi, hello.
Yeah, I get you.
It's, as we call it, formality on this, so.
So I'd make the motion to approve the appointment of Kelly Martinez as the new CEO.
Well, I would like to second. We could call for a vote.
Heisler?
Yes.
Van Zant?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries.
Good job.
Moving on to item number 20, discussion and possible action to enter into executive session to review and approval of medical staff privileges and contracts pursuant to, but we don't have any, so that's perfect. Do we have any remarks or inquiries by the governing members? I know this is where Corey likes to talk. Okay. Does anybody else like to have anything? Okay. If there's not any new business, I'd like to make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
We could call for a vote.
Heisler?
Yes.
Van Zant?
Yes.
Hopper?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes. I gotta say, that's the quickest one I've been involved in.
Okay, Ronnie, from now on, Ronnie, like, I have a vacation
Yes, I
deal.
am.
Exactly.